Almost everyone carries at least one credit card, and almost nobody was ever taught the rules that actually run underneath it. That gap costs real money, year after year, without most people ever noticing where it went. My name is Martin, and today I'm laying out the credit card rules I wish someone had explained to me decades earlier, because a few of them quietly control your score, your interest, and your long-term wealth more than almost anything else in personal finance. Here's the first uncomfortable truth. Most people think they understand grace periods, and most people are wrong. A grace period is the window between your statement closing and your payment being due, usually around 21 to 25 days, where you can carry a balance without paying a cent of interest, as long as you pay the full statement balance by the due date. That's the deal. But the moment you pay even one bill late, or carry even a partial balance forward, most card issuers legally revoke that grace period entirely. Not just for that month, but going forward until you pay in full again. Suddenly, interest starts accruing from the day each purchase posts, not from the due date. That's the trap. People assume a missed payment costs a late fee and moves on. In reality, it can quietly flip your entire card from interest-free to interest accruing on every future purchase, sometimes for months. And here's the part that stings. The average credit card carrying a balance charges north of 21% right now. On a $3,000 balance, that's over $50 a month in pure interest, money that buys you nothing, just rent paid on your own past spending. Knowing this one rule and protecting it like it's valuable, because it is worth more than most rewards programs combined. Now here's a rule that controls something even bigger than interest, your credit score itself, and almost nobody realizes when it actually gets measured. Most people believe their credit utilization, how much of your limit you're using, is based on what they currently owe when they check their score. It isn't. It's based on whatever balance was sitting on your account the day your statement closed, the moment your issuer reports that number to the credit bureaus. That means you could pay your card off completely 2 days after the statement closes, and your score still reflects whatever you owed on closing day. This single misunderstanding causes people to carry balances they don't need to, thinking it builds credit, when in reality, it can just quietly cap their score for a full month. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. If you want to lower reported utilization, pay down your balance before your statement closes, not just before the due date. 2 different dates, 2 completely different outcomes, and most people have only ever tracked one of them. Utilization under 30% is considered healthy, under 10% is considered excellent, and the difference between those 2 numbers on a $10,000 limit might just be timing a single payment a week earlier than you normally would. It costs nothing to move that payment date. It just requires knowing the rule exists in the first place. 2 rules down, and already the pattern should be obvious. Credit cards aren't complicated because the math is hard. They're complicated because the rules that matter are the ones nobody explains. The fine print sitting quietly behind the reward points and the welcome bonuses. And the next 2 rules go even further, into the mechanics that keep people in debt for decades, without them ever realizing the system was built that way on purpose. Here's where it gets uncomfortable, because the minimum payment on your statement isn't designed to help you pay off debt. It's designed to keep you paying as long as possible. Most minimum payments are calculated as a small percentage of your balance, often just 1 to 3%, plus that month's interest. That formula sounds harmless until you see what it actually does over time. Take a $5,000 balance at 21% interest, a fairly typical card rate today. Paying only the minimum, that balance can take over 20 years to disappear, and along the way, you'll pay more in interest than the original amount you borrowed. 20 years on a $5,000 purchase. The minimum payment isn't a repayment plan. It's a subscription to your own debt, and it renews every single month unless you interrupt it. Card issuers aren't hiding this. Federal law actually requires most statements to show a warning box comparing minimum payment timelines to a faster payoff plan. Almost nobody reads it because it's printed small and because seeing 20 years next to your own name is not something most people want to sit with. But that box is the most honest sentence on the entire statement. The fix isn't complicated, it's just uncomfortable to act on. Any amount above the minimum goes straight at the principal, and even an extra $50 a month can cut years off that payoff timeline and save you thousands in interest you were never required to pay in the first place. And that brings us to the last rule, the one almost nobody thinks about until it's already too late to undo cleanly: closing old credit cards. It feels responsible. Fewer cards, less temptation, a cleaner wallet. But your credit score partly depends on something called average account age. How long, on average, your credit accounts have existed. Closing your oldest card doesn't just remove a card. It can quietly shorten your entire credit history overnight. And a shorter history can lower your score for years afterward. Even if you've never missed a payment in your life, there's a second cost hiding in the same decision. Closing a card also removes that card's credit limit from your total available credit, which can spike your overall utilization ratio, the same number we talked about earlier, even if your spending hasn't changed at all. 2 scores, 1 decision, both moving in the wrong direction, and most people never connect the two. The better move, in most cases, is to keep old cards open, especially ones with no annual fee, even if you rarely use them. A small recurring charge, like a streaming subscription, set to auto-pay on that old card keeps it active without adding any real spending, and it lets that account keep aging quietly in the background, working in your favor for decades. So here's the whole thing, compressed. Protect your grace period like it's valuable, because losing it is expensive. Pay down your balance before your statement closes, not just before it's due. Never assume the minimum payment is a real plan. It's a slow subscription to debt. And think twice before closing an old card, because you might be trading a clean wallet for a lower score that takes years to rebuild. None of these rules are complicated once you know them. They were just never explained clearly, buried under reward points and welcome bonuses that get all the attention while the fine print quietly runs the show. The real cost of not knowing them isn't one bad month. It's years of interest paid, points of credit score lost, and decisions that felt responsible but worked against you the entire time. So the real question isn't whether you have a credit card. It's whether the card is working for you, or whether you've just been working for it without realizing. If this helped you catch even one rule you didn't know, that's worth more than any reward point program out there. Subscribe for the next breakdown, because the next one might save you even more.